Okay, we're live. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this edition of Farmer Office Hours. Whether you've been with us since the beginning or just getting started, we appreciate you taking the time to be here today. As always, this call is an opportunity for us to share the latest developments at Autonomous, provide updates on key initiatives, and most importantly, hear from you, the community. Your questions, feedback, and engagement help shape the direction of the network, and we are excited to walk through everything we've been working on. We have a packed agenda today, covering important milestones like Game of Domains, the Aurora Buildathon, our progress towards Mainnet Phase 2, and key ecosystem updates. You'll hear from different members of the team as we break things down, and we'll open the floor for a Q&A at the end. I'm Jim, the head of Community Autonomous, and I'll be hosting today's call alongside a lineup of team speakers. On stage with me today, we have Randy, our technical community manager, who will walk us through the latest on the network's performance and farmer-focused hot topics. We also have Fredik, our ambassador community manager, with news from the ambassador program. And we are very lucky today. We have our CEO, Todd, with us to discuss Mainnet Phase 2. Okay, before we get into it, a quick reminder to follow us on our socials if you haven't already. We are at Autonomous Net on X. That's where you can get the most updates on our progress. We also have a second account, Autonomous Labs, you can see there. This is where we post the more technical content developers and engineers are more likely to find interesting. Discord, Telegram, forum, all great channels, best places to stay updated as we progress towards Mainnet Phase 2. And as you can see, this is our packed agenda. Randy's going to kick us off with the usual state of the network piece. I'll follow with information on all things Aurora Buildathon. Todd will give us an update on roadmap status and remaining milestones. I'll be introducing the first Game of Domains trial of innovation as we set sail to cross the narrow sea. Fredik will introduce our freshly minted ambassadors. And if we have time before Q&A, I'd love to play you our Under the Hood Protocol visualization video. Very excited about that. As always, we want your Q&A questions, so we encourage you to pop them in the chat during the call. Please remember to keep them in English so we can address them effectively. Thank you. With that, let's get started. Randy, over to you for the network update. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. It's great to be here today. Let's just go over a couple statistics here. Next slide, please. Okay, so on mainnet, we have our node count 1424. It's remained fairly stable. Space pledge, when I checked it last night, it was 607, this morning 617. I think it's important to mention here that it tends to vary quite a bit. It's just an estimate, but we vary between about 587 and about 632. So looking good there, pretty stable. Our last version of the software is on the January 14th for mainnet. And lately, we've had a lot of focus on Taurus and anticipation of Game of Domains, node count 606. Space pledge is almost exactly the same as last time, 2.43 petabytes. And our latest version is March 17th, which is just a couple days ago. Okay, as far as new versions, Mainnet's been very stable, and we haven't seen a new version for the client. So we're still running back on that January 14th version. For Taurus, though, we've had a couple new CLI releases. I'm not going to go through all the details here, but these are most of the updates that are made here. I do want to mention that it is very important for everyone to upgrade on Taurus to the latest version. I'll talk more about that in just a second. Okay, hot topics. We have one we're calling the two-peer problem. Now, it's a little bit different. People are having different experiences here, but about 2 weeks ago, maybe a little bit less, we started getting reports that there were problems with peers on the Taurus network. In some instances, nodes that were already synced started to have fewer and fewer peers. In other instances, basically synced nodes were starting to have, oh, okay, I'm saying the same thing twice, sorry. sometimes when the sync node is restarted, it would start out with 2 peers and slowly increase. But the biggest problem seemed to be with nodes that haven't been synced at all yet. Most of the time you would start with 2 peers and you just never get any more. And many times the node might sync some blocks. Most of the time it'll just stop. Obviously that is a pretty big problem for our game of domains, since that's where the testing is going to happen. Our developers have been working diligently on this issue, and many people have assisted with the testing. Thank you for that. Several reports have been very valuable. We strongly urge people to update to the latest version of Taurus. We believe the peer issue can be solved by enough people updating to that version. So just want to stress that as much as possible. The quicker that happens, the quicker we should be on top of this. So thank you. Back to you, Jim.
Thanks very much, Randy. Yeah, so the best thing that everyone can do to help is if you are running an operator on Taurus, if you're running a node on Taurus at all, is make sure that you're on that. It's March 17, isn't it, Randy? March 17th?
It is, yes.
Yeah, that would be really helpful. Okay, thanks very much, Randy. Okay, so I want to give everyone an update now on where we are with the Aurora Buildathon and our builder outreach efforts. First up, last week we announced the winners of Hack Secret 5 live on a developer workshop call. You can find the recording here. I'm going to drop the link in the chat. It will be posted under this video later on if you're watching, catching up later on. There's also a forum thread that you can read through as well, which again, I will put it in the description below. And yeah, I want to thank everyone who participated. We will be following up with details on how you, the community, will be able to take a number of the submissions that we saw for a spin. You can find the winners here on the Dora Hacks website. And yeah, I speaking of Secret, of course, I want to thank our partner, Secret Network, for their collaboration on this initiative. It saw a marked jump in the number of developers in our community. Every month, Emil produces dev traction stats, and I'm very pleased to see that we had a real spike around the Hack Secret 5 hackathon. So thanks very much for that. Looking ahead, what's coming next? Our next big Aurora initiative is an upcoming collaboration with the Kansas University Blockchain Institute and their Blockathon. This is a great opportunity to get our project in front of bright young minds. The Kansas University Blockchain Institute, or QB, hopefully I'm saying that right, is a pioneering center dedicated to advancing blockchain education, innovation, and research. Located at the University of Kansas, QB brings together students, faculty, industry experts, and the wider community to explore blockchain technology's transformative potential across sectors, cultivate practical skills, and foster collaborative projects that shape the future of decentralized solutions. There's a lot going on there. At Autonomys, we identify a huge opportunity in working closely with student communities in educating them and providing chances to learn and shine via various engagements like workshops, hackathons, and other events. QB's Blockathon is an innovative hackathon initiative designed to ignite creativity, collaboration, and practical blockchain application development among students and professionals. Participants engage in hands-on challenges to build impactful decentralized solutions, fostering a vibrant community around blockchain innovation, something that we are thinking about all the time at the moment. The actual format is a 20-hour hackathon, bringing builders of all ages and skill levels together for a weekend of blockchain exploration and innovation. This year, as you can see on the slide there, it will be sponsored by Autonomous Network and Pinata, among others. The Blockathon will take place at the University of Kansas on March 29th to the 30th. And is focused on tech-inclined students who have little to no experience building in Web3 space. So building knowledge from the ground up. We expect that over 200 hackers and community members will get hands-on experience in Web3 development, mentorship from industry experts, and a chance to win big prizes. Excuse me. It'll be hosted at the University of Kansas in the heart of the Midwest, where hackers will be welcome to stay overnight, so pulling an all-nighter. The Midwest Blockathon will expose Web3 technologies to students and community members who wouldn't otherwise discover them. By providing exposure, we hope that hackers will continue to be curious about these technologies, including ours, of course, and go on to create or join blockchain clubs, participate in protocol governance, and pursue careers in Web3. So how exactly are we getting involved as Autonomous? We have designed a custom track with a special prize. That custom track is Unstoppable Data for AI. And just reading from our track description, the Autonomous DSN is the world's first truly permanent, permissionless and decentralized data storage network. Your mission is to build an experience that leverages this network to contribute to the archive of collective intelligence. Unlike traditional storage solutions, the Autonomous DSN ensures data is immutable, censorship resistant, and accessible for generations to come. A foundation for building trustworthy AI systems. And those of you who have dabbled with our auto agents framework will understand what we mean there. The evaluation criteria are three main pillars: automation and persistence. So how effectively does your project automate data creation and consistent writes to the DSN? Data value and impact. Not all data is created equal, of course. Projects will be assessed on the meaningfulness of the data and its potential to benefit future humans or autonomous agents. And then finally, human-centered interaction. So how well does your project leverage human affordances to create intuitive, engaging interactions with the agent? Successful entries will demonstrate an experience that aligns with natural human behavior, encouraging users to engage meaningfully, leading to valuable data being stored on the DSN. We will also be hosting a workshop and be actively providing online support for students during those 20 hours. So please join us in welcoming and assisting them on March the 29th in the Discord developer channel. We have developer chat is where the action happens, of course. That workshop will be based on utilizing decentralized storage network for building verifiable and transparent on-chain AI agents. Again, everything stems from our autonomous agents framework, and of course you can check 0xargument.ai and you or find OXArgument on Twitter if you want to find out or see our, I guess, reference implementation in action. Okay, so what is it we want to achieve by sponsoring and participating in the hackathon? So most students will be dealing with Web3 for the first time and bringing their Web2 practices over. So we're really interested in what sort of feedback they're going to provide us. Also, we want to know what questions they're going to ask. We want to know what makes sense to add to our existing documentation, because we really want to try and make sure that our developer onboarding is as smooth as possible. We also want the autonomous agents framework tested out. We want feedback. So how easy was it to get to grips with? How easy was it to spin up an agent? Did you hit any blockers? How can we improve that experience? And then in general, of course, we want to make improvements for our documentation resources, the developer hub, develop.autonomous.xyz, learning resources and online support. We are very excited for this next chapter of the Aurora Buildathon. Our Builder Outreach program is gaining traction and is part of our preparation for the Mainnet Phase-2 launch. So speaking of which, I'm pleased to invite our CEO, Todd, onto the stage to give us an update on our progress towards that goal. Hey, Todd. Oh, I think you're muted, Todd. I'm not sure if anyone else can hear Todd.
Sorry about that. Hi, Jim.
Hey, Todd.
Thanks for having me.
No worries. Thanks.
Great. Thank you to everyone who is tuning in, and thank you to everyone in our community who has been participating in our network. You have gotten us this far, and we hope that you will continue to stay with us as we get up to the final ramp up to Mainnet Phase 2. Your commitment has been overwhelming, and it is so appreciated. And I would just like to reaffirm our commitment, not just to you, but to launching a secure, stable, and successful network. In order to effect that, if we rush to try to meet artificial deadlines, we could potentially compromise the long-term success of the project, which is something we don't want to do. So we had been talking about our Q1 launch, and I want to speak with you very candidly and transparently about some of the things that we are still facing as challenges. I would say that, our goal from the beginning was to have the protocol ready to launch at the end of Q1. And I can tell you from our standpoint, we have achieved that goal. The protocol audit is currently underway, and we have not yet received the final copy. And until we do, we will not be able to launch the network. We don't know exactly when we're going to be receiving that, but we do know it will be probably within the next 4 to 6 weeks, which puts us just after Q1, but it keeps us on track. In addition, we are finalizing our grants program to ensure we can get developers on the network, increase demand. We are also actively in discussions with exchanges. And while we have secured listings on several exchanges, it is crucial for us to be able to get a tier 1 exchange listing. We are so happy that we have been able to give away over 6% of the token supply to all of you who participated in our test nets. And in order to be able to, manage that amount of liquidity, it is absolutely crucial that we get the tier 1 exchange launch in place. Anybody who's been using the EVM knows that that's all ready to go. The auto EVM is ready to be launched. The foundation and engineering and community are working across several tracks simultaneously. This is a very structured process with clear dependencies. So these are not just going to be arbitrary delays. I want, again, to reaffirm to everyone that this is going to be weeks. This is not going to be months. And we are going to work as hard as we can to get this done and to get it done in the right way. And I'd be happy to take questions at the end. Thank you.
Thanks, Todd. And I've just put up a graphic there. You can see that we've got some more grey boxes than last time, and I am in the process of putting together the March roadmap update. So thanks very much for getting us aligned there, Todd. Cheers. There you go. Okay, because I want to talk about Game of Domains. Let's skip on. Okay, so where are we? So thank you to all of our community members who've enthusiastically participated in stage 0 of the Game of Domains. We've seen over 600 operators, nearly 650 when I last checked, registered since it launched, and your feedback has been great. It has highlighted areas of Astral that require a bit of additional refinement, but this feedback, of course, underscores precisely why stage 0 is essential. It's to thoroughly test and enhance those staking interfaces before we move forward. While we are encouraged by the significant progress, we are committed to delivering a robust experience. To achieve this, we've decided to extend stage 0 and postpone the start of stage 1. We understand this may be disappointing to those eager to progress. However, we firmly believe that taking this extra time is crucial for ensuring a smooth and robust mainnet launch. Now, that said, we have an exciting and essential new step, our first trial of innovation. As you can see there by our wonderful graphic, it's crossing the narrow sea. This targeted trial is critical. Testing XDM is critical. It's one of the milestones that we absolutely have to achieve to be ready for Mainnet Phase-2. And it will kick off today on this very call. Your participation will be pivotal in testing XDM transactions between the consensus chain and the auto EVM domain. Through this first trial, community participants will have the opportunity to directly influence the wallet UX improvements, providing critical insights and gaining first-hand experience with XDM functionality. We deeply appreciate your understanding and patience as we refine these important components. The enthusiasm and contributions of our community have been invaluable, and your continued support remains as crucial as testing XDM as we move forward. Okay, so what is XDM? So XDM is cross-domain messaging. It is a core feature of the Autonomys network that enables secure and seamless communication between independent blockchain domains, such as the consensus chain and specialized domains like the Auto EVM. XDM allows these separate blockchains, these sovereign domains, to exchange assets, messages, and data reliably, enhancing interoperability and collaboration across the entire Autonomys ecosystem. To maintain security, there is a challenge period that has to expire when transferring tokens between domains and the consensus chain. Tokens are not fully available for use until that confirmation time has passed. So as you can see on the slide there, confirmations from consensus to a domain take around 10 minutes, while inter-domain transfers and XDM back the other way, so from a domain back to consensus, take around a day. Though remember, of course, that it's the number of blocks that are important. Block times can change slightly. While we base the table there on 6-second blocks, the actual time elapsed could be slightly different. Okay, and then what is crossing the narrow sea? So in this challenge, you'll put XDM to the test by executing those cross-chain transfers between the consensus chain and the Auto EVM domain. Every successful XDM transfer will earn your wallet a point, letting you directly contribute to strengthening the network's interoperability while earning a share of the reward pool. So join us in exploring this groundbreaking technology, help us validate its performance, and earn points with every transfer you complete. Points will be converted to AI3 at a rate to be determined once the game of domains are over, because of course there is a reward pool reserved for game of domains. Okay, so I'm going to go out on a limb here and I'm going to try and do a live demo now. So bear with me. Hopefully this is going to go well for us. Okay, that's not working. Let me... there we go, already fallen at the first hurdle. Okay, right, so first, we are going to go from consensus to Auto EVM. So here I am. By the way, all this is going to be in a guide that goes up on the forum afterwards, so you don't need to scrabble around trying to do this right now. And yeah, so here we are, we're in Astral. Hopefully everyone understands where I am here. Important thing to note is that I've switched from mainnet to Taurus. If you're on mainnet, you won't see all of the extra things to do with domains because, of course, they're not live there yet. That's part of Mainnet Phase-2. So we're going to hop onto the transfer tab here. And I'm just going to check I've got the right wallet. So I want my XDM consensus account here, which is the SUD account. Wonderful. Okay, and we're going to go from consensus and we're going to go to Auto EVM. I am going to send 10 tokens. It's as easy as this, and I am going to send it to my XDM EVM wallet that I also have in sub wallet, so which of course is going to want me to unlock it because it's gone to sleep. So 1 second. And you can't see what I'm doing because it's in a wallet pop-up. Okay, so I'm being asked for a signature request here, which I'm going to hit approve on. And okay, wonderful. First half of the demo has worked well. So what I've got here is an extrinsic hash. This is what you'll see if it was successful. So what we've now done is we've sent those 10 native consensus AI3 over onto Auto XDM. But if you remember from our slide, onto Auto EVM. If you remember on our slide, we won't actually receive them. They won't. They actually appear pretty quickly, but you won't be able to spend them for around 10 minutes. So just be aware of that if you then want to try and send them back immediately. Okay, so now we actually hop over to Polkadot.js, because coming back the other way is a little bit more involved. Okay, so what I've got here is you can see that this is the XDM EVM account that I just sent some tokens to. I've already got some balance because I've been testing. But what we can see here, sorry, I should have started at the beginning. So I've gone to Polkadot.js. This link to get here will be in the guide. But if you want to test this yourself, what you can do is, so you can connect to the consensus chain, the Taurus consensus chain, or you can connect to the Taurus Auto EVM chain, which is where I am now. So you click where you want to go and you hit switch and you'll be on the right network. Okay, so what I need to do is I'm going to submit an extrinsic, and again, this is all in the guide. I'm going to use this selected account, and I need to find the transporter transfer extrinsic is what I'm going to use. We're going to send from, so this is asking me about the destination I want to send to here. We want to send back to consensus rather than a domain. If I select domain, I'll be asked for an ID. And we need to put in a account that we want to send back to. So I've got one here that I've prepared earlier. This is actually back to the account that I just sent from on consensus from. So I have my XDM consensus account and my XDM EVM account, and I'm transferring backwards and forwards between the two. So we've got everything set up. We're going back to consensus. This is the account on consensus that I want to send the tokens to. And now we need to put in an amount. Now, of course, because we're using Polkadot.js, everything is in Shannons. For those unaware, the Shannons are the smallest unit of AI3 tokens. So we have to represent everything with 18 zeros afterwards because the value is 10 to the 18. So I've prepared this rather than trying to fluff typing out 10 tokens, 10 with 18 zeros. So I'm going to, okay, am I? No, I'm not. Why am I? Okay, I might have to type it here, so this could go wrong. Okay, 10, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I've got 10 tokens there, but I've got 18 zeros afterwards. And all that's left to do is I'm going to submit the transaction. Just check that I'm happy with everything that's going on here. It looks good. And I'm going to sign. Again, subwallet's popped up asking me to approve. And I've said yes, and we should see our spinner, which hopefully is going to give us a green tick. And there we go. Okay, so you've just witnessed an XDM transfer from consensus to Auto EVM, and then the second one from Auto EVM back to consensus. Okay, that went really well. Not that I'm surprised, of course. Okay. So where were we? Okay. Right, remember, something important, again, it's going to be in the guide, is that an XDM transfer actually costs 2 AI3. So you need to factor that into your plans of how you're going to approach this challenge. Again, there's going to be a forum post laying out this process. There is just one thing left to do, which is to mark the start block for crossing the narrow sea. Now, I'm hoping that Jeremy is somewhere. Jeremy, our CTO, is hopefully in the audience somewhere and able to submit the transaction. So what we're going to do is we're going to submit a system.remark, and that will be the immutable, irrefutable start block for the crossing the narrow sea challenge. Later on, we'll announce an end block as well, of course, and I will include that start block. But essentially, okay, Jeremy's here, wonderful. When Jeremy gives us the block number, you know that as soon as that happens, your XDM transfers are going to count towards the challenge. So keep an eye on the chat here, and again, I'll make sure that everything is in the forum post, or of course, come and find us in Discord if you get stuck, or on the forum. Okay, so while we wait for Jeremy, no pressure there, I'll wrap this segment up. So yes, Join us as we cross the narrow sea together. Your participation in this critical XDM trial not only directly impacts the readiness of Autonomous Mainnet Phase 2, but also puts you at the heart of innovation within our community. Again, if you encounter any challenges or have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out on Discord or post directly on the forum. Underneath the thread is fine, I'll get a notification. We are here to support you every step of the way, and your involvement is essential. So let's continue building together. Okay. I'm really pleased with how that went. Okay, next up, we have Fredik. I'm not surprised at all. Okay. Hey, Fredik, how are you doing?
Well, I'm fired up, as usual, to jump into another community call. You know, these sessions always bring me closer to the community, and nothing fuels me more. Now, I'm going to grab my brief moment in the spotlight to celebrate two rockstar ambassadors joining the squad. Just before we flip it to the next slides, let me talk about onboarding for a second. I know that many of you know this already, but for the benefits of the newcomers, a couple of months ago, we revamped the ambassador program onboarding workflow into an on-demand model. So what's the deal with this on-demand model? So it begins with a fixed open application that runs continuously. You can find that on our website. If please, Jim, you could drop the link on the website in the chat. So instead of recruiting ambassadors in batches, in large numbers, in large groups within rigid quarterly cycles, now the lead ambassadors and the ambassadors can now actively scout for top talent aligned with the specific skill sets that are required today or are required at any given moment, which gives us more flexibility and a swerve to quality. Now, when specific skills pop up on our radar, namely the data set with the submissions, we cherry pick the best matches from the candidate pool. Today, right now, we are particularly in the hunt for Mandarin speakers, ambassadors to help out in support roles, developers with API experience that could be helpful in leveraging a number of tools and platforms we use for engagement purposes, and governance and DAO enthusiasts. If you have a passion for decentralized coordination, let's talk. Now, if anyone in the community got a top tier candidate in mind, don't be shy, send them our way. Please ask them to apply in the data set. Referrals from you guys, from the community, makes really all the difference. If you forget the link of the application, it's easy to find in our website. If you can maybe, Jim, show the workflow in the website. Yeah, you go to our website, hover over community, click on ambassadors, and then that will take you to the application. It's very simple. You're 2 clicks away from glory. Now, having said that, next slide, please. Let's crank up the energy because we got 2 powerhouse ambassadors officially stepping into their roles under this new on-demand, fresh new system. Huge round of applause to George Abdallah and John Rodell. I think I've seen them in the chat there. These 2 certainly know how to shake things up in ecosystems like Polkadot and Fala networks. They now bring their seasoned experience straight to Autonomys ambassadors governance and onboarding, respectively, as their primary focus areas. In just 4 weeks, they absolutely crushed the quizzes and deliver a next level mini project. Very impressive ones indeed. Next slide, please. If you can go back to Georgia. Yeah, let me just speak briefly about them individually. Georgia, before he jumped in as an apprentice, he single-handedly launched the first ambassador-driven Twitter in Portuguese, and is already thriving. It's heavily populated with lots of information from our academy in Portuguese. He in the next 2 months, he ranked 3rd in our translation leaderboard in Crowdin. And once he was on board as an apprentice, he, hit the ground running, teamed up with Jonathan to automate a number of governance workflows like a pro. So, huge admiration for Georgia. John Roddle, in turn, next slide, please. John Roddle, he brings his A game to roll out a killer mini project, an Autonomys University Roadshow, which is based on a work he has already deployed successfully as Polkadot, a senior Polkadot ambassador. The initiative basically promotes and drives on-chain activity, and expands farmer community growth, which happens to be exactly what we need. So Georgia, Abdallah, John Roddle, welcome to the team. Let's celebrate your journey and keep the momentum rolling. Thank you so much. That was all on my end. I'll see you on the other side. Mic drop to you. Back to you, John.
Thanks very much, Pradeep. And yeah, loving the energy and very pleased to see the new ambassadors onboarded. Wonderful. Okay, right. Thanks, Pradeep. I'm going to let you go for a minute. Right, I'm going to try and do something else complicated now. Let me just see if I can make this work. I know this makes great TV. Okay, let's see if that is going to work for us.
Are abundant. And
okay, so I wasn't expecting it to automatically start. So I'm extremely excited to share something special with you right now. A video visualization that brings to life the foundational concepts behind the Autonomous network. Now, a special place in my heart this has, because nearly 2 years ago, I envisioned a clear, intuitive way to illustrate exactly how our network operates and how all participants contribute to its decentralization and robustness. I'm very pleased to say that our dedicated team has managed to work tirelessly to realize this vision, and today we're thrilled finally to share it. This short video unpacks the Autonomous network and the subspace protocol, clearly explaining key components like farming, consensus, domains, and cross-domain messaging. So whether you're building, contributing, or simply exploring AI-ready blockchain infrastructure, this is an essential watch. Okay, so I'm going to try again and see if I can get this to play for us now. I'll also drop the link in the chat while I'm doing that. So hopefully this is going to work for us.
Blockchains are abundant, and understanding what makes each one unique is crucial when deciding which ecosystems to engage with, build on, or contribute to. Today, we're exploring the Autonomous network, a network powered by the architecture and principles of the subspace protocol. Let's take a look under the hood. This is a complete visualization of the Autonomous network, an instance of the subspace protocol. It shows the key network participants and the dynamics that connect them. We'll break this down piece by piece to understand how everything works together. Farmers are the backbone of our network. They plot farms using modest commodity hardware and earn tokens by pledging space to the network through these plots. Farmers can create multiple plots of varying sizes in their farms. The more space they contribute, the greater the rewards they earn. Farmers collaborate to secure the network's consensus. By storing the blockchain history with replication and erasure coding, they ensure data protection. When viewed from above, the farmer network forms a ring. Each farmer pledges space to strengthen consensus. More farmers mean greater decentralization, making the network more robust and secure. Farmers communicate with each other through a P2P networking layer. The subspace protocol supports decoupled execution environments. We call them domains. They are where our second group of network citizens live, operators. Operators provide the compute to domains. They stake their operator nodes and invite nominations from token holders. Operators and their nominators earn transaction fees from the execution work done on the domain. The magic happens when these elements connect. Farmers provide decentralized storage and consensus, while operators deliver compute power within domains. The networking layer ensures seamless coordination and communication between them. Within a domain, there are a few things going on. Operators sit atop a runtime that can be tailored for specific use cases by domain creators. Whether you choose an out-of-the-box runtime like our EVM-compatible or Auto-ID runtimes, or create your own, each domain leverages the decentralized storage and security of the network. The operators may be bringing different compute and staking power to the domains, but they all use the networking layer as the stage on which they perform the ballet that ensures consistent, secure execution of user transactions. Execution is secured using non-interactive, optimistic fraud proofs. Domains communicate through cross-domain messaging or XDM, enabling asset transfers and interoperability across the network. Creating your own domain is as simple as submitting a transaction. With no limit on the number of domains, creators immediately gain access to the network's storage, decentralization, and security that our architecture provides. Why bootstrap your own ecosystem when you can leverage ours? This is Autonomys, a truly decentralized and scalable network made possible by the invaluable contributions of our dedicated farmers and operators. Together, they create the foundation layer for AI 3.0, where innovation, accessibility, and security thrive. While there's much more to uncover, that's it for today. Until next time, keep farming, keep questioning, and as always, stay connected.
Okay, well, hopefully everyone enjoyed that. I want to say a special thanks to the marketing team who have been working on that video for a while as a lower priority item. But it's just wonderful to see kind of something that was a scribbling on a bit of paper all that time ago into such a professional and polished video. It's really wonderful to see. And of course, the real value it delivers is that you can show this to all your friends and family and get them excited about our network and why we are the best, essentially. So yeah, your feedback is always appreciated. So please do let us know what you think. And I'm just going to drop the link in the chat if anyone does want to bookmark it for later. But yeah, you can see it's been announced on our socials and a few other places. Okay, guys, right, I'm going to bring everyone back up on the stage to see if we've got any questions. Maybe someone's got a question about the ambassador program. Maybe someone's experiencing the two-peer problem. We do like to see a start command still. Randy and I wait for those. Okay, so first of all, I just want to point out that we do have our new ambassadors. John, it's nice to be here, and we're very pleased that you're going to help us, advance Autonomys in the LATAM region as well, John. Very pleased to have you here. Stoked, of course. And also, I saw George is here as well. So thanks, guys. It is absolutely wonderful to have you aboard in the ambassador program. Okay, so some actual questions. I've only got two, guys. Has anyone got any questions? Okay, right. So there's another one. Okay, right. So our first question: I can't connect my EVM wallet to transfer money to my Subspace wallet. Okay, so where? Okay, let me think that through. Can't connect my EVM wallet to transfer money to my Subspace wallet. So what you actually do is if you create, like I have, two wallets in Sub Wallet, you'll be able to, because they use like a unified account system in there, you'll actually be able to send between those two, because the accounts actually work on EVM chains and on substrate chains like ours. Again, probably worth jumping into the guide, which has a step-by-step. But if you do get stuck, please do let us know. Please do reach out, and we will see if we can get you back on track. Okay, PPLLC. So a question: delay 4 to 6 weeks.
I'll take that one, Jim. Yeah, so I want to get back to that. I had to cut my comments a little short. I'm sorry. I've been sick and I started choking. So, I would like to reiterate that roadmap that we pulled up is more about tracking our progress, not trying to explain delays. The main thrust of this was to get the auto EVM ready to launch, which we have done. And as everyone knows, there's a lot of projects launching right now. So unfortunately, we do not have control over the protocol audit and the timing of how quickly it's going to be completed. Again, I don't want to throw out artificial deadlines and then we end up in another situation where it looks like we're causing a delay. My best estimation is that it will be complete within 4 to 6 weeks. This is not a guarantee. We are, at the mercy of some other things here. But understand that these are critical dependencies. If we don't do the XDM audit and have that security audit completed, we risk the integrity of the entire network. And I don't think anyone wants that. We've all been here a long time. I've been with this project for 4 years now, and I do realize that before I took over this role, that there were some delays that many people found upsetting. And I assure you that I am very sensitive to that, and that we are all very sensitive to that. And we are all committed to getting this done as quickly as possible. No one wants to launch this network more than we do. But as you can understand, if the audit comes back and they find something, we're going to have to fix it. Software development is sometimes a little bit unpredictable. We don't anticipate that there's going to be any major issues at this point, but that is something that we have to be aware of. And again, I'm explaining our progress to you here, not trying to justify why these are delayed. We will still be around the end of Q1 timeline when we launch, but no one wants to see us launch a protocol that has not been fully audited and guaranteed to be ready. No one wants to be able to go to an exchange and not be able to have sufficient liquidity because we're not listed in the right places. And this is all very important. And as everyone knows, these exchanges are very busy. There's a lot of tokens that are launching, unfortunately, a lot of meme coins. And sometimes the real quality projects feel like they get kind of lost in the noise a little bit. Now, I wouldn't say we are lost in the noise, and we are certainly getting the attention of the exchanges that we want to speak with. We are in the midst of this process. This is not something we're just starting, but it is something that is ongoing. So again, the idea here is just to be very transparent with you and let you know where we are, that, our roadmap does show that we are pretty much at technical readiness at this point. And in the meantime, we will continue working on building the community and preparing the market for our TGE, which we will do when everything that I've explained is set and ready to go. And this is for the best of everyone who's been with us for 4 years or however long you've been here, to make sure that we don't have a subpar launch. We are going to ensure that this is done correctly, so please know that.
Thanks, Todd. Yeah, I don't think anyone wants to sacrifice the long-term health of the project for trying to hit a target too quickly. So these things need to happen. Thanks, Todd. Okay, another question I saw pop up. Okay, when will the staking reward rules be released? Okay, so let's just unpack a little bit of what I said earlier about the about Game of Domains. So first of all, we Game of Domains staking side of things are not a dependency for Mainnet Phase-2 launch. So we are expecting the Game of Domains to run for quite some time. And there's no need to rush. And we definitely don't want to rush while we've got what looks like an issue with peer connectivity on Taurus. So we will be testing XDM in the very short term. And we will get back to the staking side of things, so operators and nominators, when we get stability and when we've hashed out exactly how we are going to deploy those stage 1. So bear with us, please. Sorry, I can't. I'm not sure. I can't read your name. Okay, there's a question here. I think I know the answer to this one. Now, hi Todd. You mentioned earlier that you have already negotiated with several exchanges. Can you tell us which ones they are?
Unfortunately, no, we cannot. We are in the midst of the negotiations with these exchanges, and we cannot discuss which ones. I can tell you that there are some tier 1, some tier 2 exchanges. We are working very diligently with the ones in Asia in particular. And we are also working with some that are domestic to us here in the United States. So if you think of the largest exchanges that are out there, those are the ones that we're talking with. We have already, again, procured listings with several of them. And we're confident that we could still launch and trading would, resume, or trading would start taking place on those exchanges. But there wouldn't be sufficient liquidity for our farmers. Again, we've given away 6.5% plus of the token supply. I'm sorry, you've earned 6.5% plus of the token supply. And we want to ensure that there is adequate demand available in the market so that anyone who is out there, trying to find liquidity would be able to do so. Of course, we want to encourage everyone to hold because we want to encourage long-term token holding. Our goal is to provide long-term value. Anyone who's been following our narrative sees everything that we're doing with agents. We are the only ones out there that are doing a crypto agent that is actually on-chain. Our agents are on-chain. Everything is being stored on-chain transparently. This narrative has been very powerful, and we have gotten a lot of traction and a lot of interest from several projects, and we are working on onboarding them as we get up to TGE phase 2 here. And we want to encourage people to stay with the project. We do believe that we can demonstrate sufficient long-term value in this project so that we are going to be around for a long time. So I would encourage you all to please just continue to be patient and work with us, and we'll be happy to announce those exchanges when we have them finalized.
Thanks, Todd.
Thank you for the question.
And thanks, Nanau. Yes, cheers. Okay, my channel. Why does XDM from domain to domain take so long? A day. Okay, so actually I was just looking for an article that I can pass you. So basically it's a challenge period of 14,400 blocks, is to make sure that there isn't a nefarious operator on the network who are operating maliciously and saying that they're transferring assets and they're not actually doing it. So I'm actually going to drop this link in the chat here for you if you want to read up on exactly what that means. But if you have follow-up questions, please do come and find us in Discord and we'll try and answer. Okay, another question. Where can we, PPLLCC question, where can we check out the latest roadmap, please? Okay, so I did pop the slide up earlier. As you know, we've provided updates, roadmap updates, so on our progress to Mainnet Phase 2. We had one in January, February, and of course March is going to be no different. I'm working on it. You can go back and check out the slide in the video after the call, but yeah, there's an update coming as soon as I get it drafted. Okay, Ego P, how is the KOL activation milestone progressing? Okay, so I know Peter's in the audience. I'm not sure if he wants to give us an update here, but essentially there's a whole kind of bundle of activities that need to happen around go-to-market. It's a highly orchestrated performance that needs to be undertaken. And, as Todd said, getting exchanges lined up, making sure that their integration is working, making sure that all marketing efforts around that Mainnet Phase 2 launch are all going to be synced up together. Yeah, I believe, well, I'll ask Peter if we can put a specific update on progress on KOLs into the roadmap update. So thank you for that. Okay. My channel again. What is prize pool for new game Crossing the Narrow Sea? So great question. So the Trials of Innovation have 0.1% of supply allocated to them, which is 1 million AI3. And there's going to be a number of trials that are going to unfold. So what will happen is we will take a look at the on-chain activity, and we will see who's been participating by transferring by XDMing tokens between consensus and the domains. And then we will award points to each time that happens, and then at the end we will work out how the effort involved stacks up against the rest of the trials, and there will be a conversion. I did mention this earlier, but if it went a bit quick, it's in the it's going to be in the forum post that's going to go out. So thanks for the question, my channel. Okay, Todd, maybe you want to take this one. It's from EgoP. Will the token be tradable in the USA?
That is the goal, to have it be tradable in the USA. We are looking at not just centralized exchanges, but also DEX liquidity. So that is the goal, to be able to provide, yes, liquidity everywhere. So that we are working towards that, EgoP, yes.
Okay, I can't see any more questions, guys. Unless anyone wants to put one in late. If I missed one, please do re-ask it.
So, Todd, I'm being asked in the Chinese Discord channel about funding rounds or financing, anything about that. Can you speak to that?
Financing and funding is something that we are exploring. As everyone knows, the market has been difficult as of late, but this is a time that often presents great opportunity. The really smart investors are looking to invest when the market is down. The old saying, when there's blood in the streets, buy property. And I'd say there's certainly blood in the streets as it pertains to the crypto and equity markets. So yes, we are exploring the fundraising landscape. We don't have any commitments at this time that I can share publicly, but that is something that we are exploring. Absolutely, yes.
Okay, thanks, Todd. I haven't seen any more questions roll in from our question feed. Seen some foul language that we don't appreciate, so no thank you for that. So I think we can just wrap things up. Okay, so a big thank you once again to everyone who joined us today. Your participation and feedback genuinely shape the future of Autonomous. We couldn't do this without you. Before we close, here are a few key ways to stay involved and contribute to the next phase of Autonomous. So as you can see there, if you are a builder, the Aurora Buildathon is ongoing and growing rapidly. Check out the recent winning entries from Hack Secret 5, experiment with them, and stay tuned for our upcoming collaboration with Kansas University's Blockathon. Head over to the Developer Hub or reach out in our Discord builder channels to get started. For the staking community, our first trial of innovation, Crossing the Narrow Sea, has just started. You can participate by testing cross-domain messaging, earn points toward rewards, and directly contribute to the network's strength. Full details will be available on our forums shortly after this call. As Pradeep said, we are looking for more ambassadors. So if you are passionate about Autonomous and want to contribute more actively, please do reach out on Discord or check the community section on our website to apply. Lastly, be sure to watch our new Autonomous Under the Hood video, and don't forget to share your feedback with us. It's a great resource to help new community members understand our ecosystem and mission. One final item, a late entry. If you're running an operator, please do upgrade to the latest version of the node, which is March 17th. It is helping us to debug that two-peer issue we're seeing on Taurus. And with that, thank you once again for spending your time with us. Keep an eye on our socials for future announcements. We look forward to seeing you at our next event. Until then, keep farming, keep questioning, and as always, stay connected. Thanks, everyone.